if there's one team that nobody has a clear handle on what they're going to do, it's Anaheim. I've heard a lot of different rumors of the players that they like and the different things. And if you're with the Anaheim Ducks, you're not going to say, we love this guy, I hate that guy. You want to keep everybody guessing. And that's what Pat Verbeek has done in the last couple of years. And certainly last season, picking Leo Carlsson when the consensus was suggesting that Adam Fantilli was the pick. They're not afraid to buck convention. They're not afraid to avoid consensus. I think that they almost abhor consensus. And so with that, you have a team that I think could benefit from getting another first round draft pick. Now, the question about them is, the Trevor Zegras question. Everybody has kind of talked about him as legitimate trade bait, as a guy that, Anaheim may be eager to move on from. And with that, that's a player that could he fetch a first round draft pick. I mean, his draft stock or his trade stock is a bit low at this point. And really the value is where I think teams like, if you're Buffalo or you are New Jersey or, any of those teams here, that might not be enough for you to move the 9 or the 10. And so, or the 10 or the 11. So that's going to be a really interesting thing that changes the focus of the draft. But I think trades are more likely this year than in years past. We continue to see every year, we get it all hyped up. There's going to be trades at the draft. There's going to be trades at the draft, and there isn't. That could be the case again. I think if you are the Devils, if you are the Sabres, there is an added emphasis on getting more competitive now than trying to continue to build up your prospect system. Those teams have picked a lot of players, a lot of guys that are going to be impact players in their organization. But this is now the opportunity. This may be one of their best opportunities to land an impact player that will help them next season. But again, you cannot compromise the value of what you have with those high draft picks. They are really, really valuable. And I think teams will be eager to, put together attractive packages for that, but you have to make sure you get the best one. So let's bounce back to the Ducks again, because I've heard so many different players. I've heard, the possibility of an Ivan Demidov being there. I think if Artem Levshunov is there, that would more than likely be the pick for them. But there's a chance that he won't be there if Chicago takes him at number 2. There's certainly been chatter of Anton Salayev in terms of fits, stylistic fits of what they've built so far. He probably would fill the clearest need. I don't think Anaheim is going to draft strictly for need, but I also think that Salayev has that upside factor that still makes him an attractive option for a team that has drafted as the Ducks have in these last couple of years. You get a big defenseman, a shutdown guy, and you think about the Olin Zellweger and Pavel Mintyukov, and you also think about the fact that Cam Fowler is getting to the end of his career at this point. You need that next guy to kind of step in, and Mintyukov, it was Salayev, could be the guy to do that for them. So I think that that's certainly something that is going to be interesting to watch. The whole Zegras scenario as well, how does that affect what they do at 3? I'm saying defenseman, but could they still go after forwards? And you look at the forward group that they've built up, and you think about Mason McTavish. You think about Cutter Gauthier, who they traded for last year. You think about all the Leo Carlsson and what they're putting together for the future of their club. And there's a lot of talent up front, but what if you drop in an Ivan Demidov into that situation? What if you drop in a Caden Lindstrom and his size and skill and speed? What if, could you even consider a Berkeley Catton? That's all potential there. Another name I've heard is if I think this is more projecting in terms of, hey, the Ducks don't always do what we think they're going to do. What if they went and got a big right shot defenseman in Carter Yakimchuk, puck mover, offensive guy? You traded away Jamie Drysdale last year. You still have Mintyukov and Zellweger, but what else? You're Tristan Luneau, Jackson Lacombe. I mean, you got a really young blue line. Or does that Zegras trade allow you to potentially address defense now and then go and make a pick? There's been so many scenarios thrown out, and all I'm saying, I'm spending a lot of time on something I cannot tell you definitively what I know, because I don't know what's going to happen at that pick. And it is such a critical flashpoint of the draft that we'll have to wait and see exactly what comes of it. So that's interesting nonetheless.